Why would you not notice that your child is in a stressful situation right now? Why would you not pull them away and help them regulate their emotions? Why would you let this be filmed and posted for millions of people to see? Teach your kids how to regulate their emotions. It's probably why these children are in their late teens and early tweens and still having meltdowns like this, because their parents don't teach them how to regulate. And I think something that really makes me quite cross is the fact that these parents, they view everything before it goes on the internet. So the fact that they would allow the title of this video to be Biggie Cried as the first 2 letters really just tells me they're in it for views. Why would that be the title of the video when it's like a minute of the video of him crying? Why is that your main focus of the video?
I like to, I wouldn't know. It's just sucking. So keeping me.
The title of this video, well, the first 2 letters in the title were Naz cried. And her crying makes up maybe less than 10 seconds of the whole video. And I genuinely wonder, why do you have to film your child in distress? You don't have to film this. You choose to film this because the more your kids cry in their videos, the more views you get, the more money you make.
I've got 2 sophisticated zebras. I've got 2 rows to unsophisticated ones. Sorry, I love it.
Don't even get me started on how Sabre, who is 16 years old, is sharing a room with her 12-year-old brother. Or I guess an enclosed space. You can argue that she wants to share a room with Biggie, but I'm sorry, it is not normal for a 16-year-old girl, who's nearly a woman, to want to share a bedroom with a 12-year-old. No, that isn't normal. And that's not me having a dig at Sabre. She is the product of her environment. I fully understand that. But I think we have to ask ourselves, why does a 16-year-old girl want to share a bedroom with a 12-year-old boy? How young do these parents keep their children mentally? Yes, if you look at the way that they behaving much younger than what they are. And I think that the parents purposefully keep them at a much younger mental level. That is to control them. A 16-year-old who acts like a 12-year-old can be easily manipulated, easily controlled, can't speak up for herself, all that. And I think this sort of ties in to why Brooke and Justin have their older children, their teenagers and tweenagers, call them Mama and Papa. At first I thought, well, maybe it's like a cultural thing, but they're pretty white, and I'm pretty white myself. And here in Australia, when you're pretty white, you just call them Mum and Dad. I think Mama and Papa tends to stroke their ego. I mean, that's my own personal belief. It strokes their ego. And it gives them a sense of control when your 16-year-old is speaking to you like a 2-year-old. And look, at the end of the day, I don't believe that these parents are horrible. I've seen them be quite lovely towards their children. But at the same time, I do have to wonder if they lack a certain amount of empathy. Because you have to lack a certain amount of empathy to do the things that they are doing to their children. The things that I've seen them post on the internet, I could never in a million years imagine doing that to my own kids. Again, absolute lack of empathy for me. Imagine going up to your mother as a child. You're distressed, you're upset, and the first thing she does is start rolling the camera and just puts it in your face. Look how close the camera is to these kids' faces. That is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. I can't understand how someone could look at their distraught child and think that that's the time to switch on the camera and start vlogging. No, that's the time to give your child a hug.
It's very bad, Papa. And we don't want to see you suffer. Do you know how much I stay in my bed and I cry about you dying? 101.8. That's how much you've been eating. We're really worried about you.
So basically, in this video, the kids have been led to believe that their father is overweight and is going to have some sort of heart attack or develop some kind of diabetes. I think what their mother regretted to inform them is that their father is an ex-Olympic swimmer who keeps in very good shape. My husband weighs more than that man, and he's perfectly healthy. This is my theory, and I could be wrong. I believe that this was Brooke projecting her issues with her husband's weight onto her children, and using her children to guilt trip her husband into losing some weight. That is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but each to their own.
Walked off. He's gone to his bedroom and we're stuck here on the lounge. He's upset because he doesn't want to lose the weight. He doesn't want to stop eating all his ice cream.
And I think what bothers me the most is that these children genuinely think that their dad is at risk of dying. And I've been in that situation. I was told by one of my parents that they were highly suicidal. I was only 11 years old, so I know how it feels to lay awake at night and genuinely wonder if your parent's going to be there the next day. And it is a terrifying experience, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if these children will struggle with some sort of anxiety disorder. I really doubt that he's upset. I mean, you saw his reaction. There was no emotion in his face, no tears in his eyes, no change in his voice. He put his head in his hands, but other than that, his body language was quite positive. He was just acting quite badly for the camera. I don't expect many of their fans to understand what's really going on here, because a lot of their fans, or their legends as they call them, are minors. And I think if you showed this to any healthy functioning adult, they would see the bullcrap straight away. Justin was fine. He wasn't going to die of a heart attack. He was nowhere near that stage. He knew he was fine too.